Today we're in a 2024 Honda Accord Touring Hybrid. And in this video, it's going to be a little bit of a first impressions kind of video. I grabbed this off the dealer lot at Germain Honda of College Hills in Worcester, Ohio. So shout out to them for providing this vehicle for me to film today. Great dealer, no markups. I bought 3 vehicles from them, so highly recommend you go check out their cars. Link will be in the description for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We'll walk you around the exterior real quick and the interior, and then we'll take it for a spin, and I'll give you my impressions. Last year, I drove a 2023 EX non-hybrid, and I kind of wanted to try the top trim Touring just to see kind of how it compares. And you know, I honestly wasn't a huge fan of the non-hybrid version of it. It was okay, and I had a 10th gen Accord, 2019 Honda Accord 2.0T Sport in my previous car life, whatever, and you know, just wasn't a huge fan of the new generation. Let's take a look at the window sticker here. Total price as tested is $40,440. This color is Urban Gray Pearl, very sharp color. 19-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin Primacies MXM4 all seasons. Do get a ginormous back seat. Look at that leg room. Let's go ahead and climb in here. Pretty easy ingress here. I have 0 headroom, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just kind of slammed against the seat. I'm 6 foot. The driver's seat is in the position that I would be in. The legroom is significant, but headroom, yeah, it's pretty much non-existent. But you do get rear heated seats, which is actually pretty nice. Couple vents back here, couple USB-C ports and a map pocket, pull down center armrest with a couple cup holders. Quick shot of the dash, very sharp. Your typical Honda corporate design language, looks very nice. Does have a moonroof as well. That opens up very nicely. I think it's got like gas shocks that kind of propel it up, so it always opens pretty nice. Back here, ginormous trunk. You can put anything you want back here. Let's see what you get under here. Looks like you do not get a spare tire, just get a, you know, fix-a-flat kit. You do have LED headlights with LED DRLs as well. Very sharp. You have LED turn signal mirrors that are heated and have blind spot monitoring as well. Leather seats that are heated and ventilated, both the driver and the passenger. And on the driver's seat, you do get power lumbar, which is nice. These seats are super comfortable. Also memory as well. You got a very nice 12.3-inch infotainment there. It does have a very nice backup camera with guidance lines that move. Wish it was a 360 camera, because obviously you can see over there there's space for it, but it does have front and rear parking sensors. But I would love to see the you know, the 360 camera incorporated in that. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto as well, and it works extremely well, connects super fast. You can also kind of minimize it and, you know, see the power flow, which is what we'll do over there. Everything in here is laid out very nicely. Easy to reach, easy to adjust. You have the dual zone climate controls here with the clicky buttons that everybody loves. Very tactile feeling, very good to use. You have heated and ventilated seats. These ventilated seats are extremely good. They're actually so good I have to turn them down because they get too cold. Most the ventilated seats that I use, they don't work at all, but this works really nice. A couple USB-C ports, wireless charger down here, physical gear shift, which is nice to see, a couple cup holders, drive mode selector, and EV mode, which is very nice to see. We'll cover that on the drive. Parking brake, very nice. A center console here with a power outlet in there, and a glove box, which is kind of small. You know, it's enough to hold the owner's manual and napkins, whatever. Auto dimming mirror, sunglasses holder, and a visor that is illuminated as well. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and take this for a spin. But before I do that, please be sure to like the video if you've enjoyed it so far. And please consider subscribing as well. I try to do car reviews weekly. I still have a 9-to-5 job, so trying to schedule everything is a little bit difficult, but I'm trying my best. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and take this for a spin. Right off the bat, this is extremely smooth compared to my 2024 Civic, my 2024 CR-V Hybrid, and my 2019 Honda Accord that I owned in previous. It's hard to believe that this thing has 19-inch wheels on it. It rides extremely smooth. Wasn't expecting that at all, honestly. Road noise is kept to a minimum in here as well. I think that's one of the highlights of this vehicle, is just how quiet it is at highway speeds and around town. Like I said, with those 19s, I really expected to be beat to death, but not in this thing at all. You do have paddle shifters behind the wheel that you can control the regen. It's not used for shifting anything. It's just used for basically one pedal driving, essentially. I mean, this is full regen, and we're coming down to almost a complete stop, which is pretty nice. Even turns on the brake lights as well when you use that. It's very nice to see, keeping everybody safe. Let's go right today. I'm not going to floor it, but no lack of power from this 204 horsepower 2-liter hybridized 4-cylinder. Naturally aspirated as well, so that's nice for reliability. This powertrain has been in several Honda hybrids over the years, and it's proven to be pretty reliable. You see we have a heads-up display there as well. It's very sharp, clear, easy to read on a bright day like this. I mean, I'll be pretty much using the paddle shifters the entire time to slow down. And you can kind of see the little infographic there of the car with the brake lights on and the gauge cluster there. It's super cool. I love Honda's digital gauge cluster. Very customizable. You can put whatever you want on the left and whatever you want on the right, and just works perfectly. Looks nice, not very distracting at night. I mean, you can even get rid of most of this stuff, and if you don't want all of this information, and make it a clean, kind of calm screen as well. I love the driving position in this Accord. Like I said, everything's within arm's reach. You can even rest your arm on the center console here and on this side. Nothing's unproportionate, and it's a pretty good driver's car. Take this thing on a trip, no problem at all. You got plenty of space for the kids in the back. You got plenty of space in the trunk to take stuff with you. It's a perfect road trip car. MPG on this is around 44 combined. I've seen people on forums get pretty close to 50 on a normal basis, and it's a very fuel efficient powertrain. I drove this for quite a few miles before this video just to kind of get familiar with the car, just to kind of know what I'm talking about for the video. And I got 58 miles a gallon in that trip, and I think that was about 20-25 miles. So very fuel efficient, no problem at all. That's pretty sweet. Now, yes, you can use the paddles to control the regen, but if you also use the actual brake down there, it'll kind of, use the regen in combination with the service brakes to slow you down. So you don't really need to use the paddles at all, but it's kind of fun to do. You can kind of see as my foot's on the brake pedal, we're regenning right now. Good time to talk about visibility. Visibility is extremely good in this. It is a little bit higher than my Civic. You kind of sit a little bit lower. It kind of feels like you're overlooking something, but visibility is extremely good. No real blind spots here. You do, like I said, you do have blind spot monitoring to help you out there, but visibility is very good. The Honda Sensing Suite is extremely good, so I'm sure this is no exception at all here. You can kind of see it has traffic sign recognition as well. It has in the heads-up display and the gauge cluster down there, so you can kind of see the speed limit, some stop signs, and things like that. Handles the roundabouts extremely good. Very good handling. That's what I like about Hondas. They kind of split the difference between sporty and luxury. It's not too sporty and firm and rough, and it's not too luxury like boat feeling, no steering weight at all. It's just makes for a very nice driving experience. Kind of see on the left there, we do get a battery gauge, so you can kind of see what level your hybrid battery is at. That's pretty neat. You can kind of take that fuel economy number with a grain of salt, as well as this has been sitting on the dealer lot for a while, so that's probably not going to be very accurate. But currently on this trip, we are averaging 40 miles a gallon, which is pretty awesome. Man, the regen is very strong, especially down this hill. Look at that, slowing us down pretty nicely. Jeez. The quality of this interior is extremely nice as well. Curious to see, how it'll hold up, 4,000 or 5,000 miles. And I said that about my Civic when I first bought it, and now it's kind of rattling quite a bit in the infotainment, so I'm curious to see how it'll hold up. Does seem to be a little bit better put together than my Civic. Not that my Civic's a pile of garbage, but definitely can tell the difference in the $10,000 price point between my Civic Touring and this one. Let's go in EV mode and see what all that's about. See if I can keep it in EV mode here. So I don't know specifics on this yet, but man, it's we're at 35 miles an hour and it's still keeping us in EV mode. I had a Toyota Highlander hybrid a week ago that wouldn't allow you to stay in EV mode above 20 miles an hour. And look at this. If you just keep your acceleration down, you can drive around in electric pretty much. Huh. That's actually really cool. I wonder if the new Civic Hybrid has this feature. If it does, I might be trading my car in on a Civic Hybrid. Because that's kind of cool, riding around on just electric. Look at that, I got up to 55 miles an hour without it kicking off of EV mode. That's actually pretty cool. And we're charging the battery up right now with regen. All right, how much acceleration is too much acceleration before it kicks off? So almost at 25. So almost at 25% power level is when it kicks over to the engine. Look at that, we just bumped up our fuel economy to 42.9 now. That's cool. Okay. See, I didn't know that, you could use it up to 55 miles an hour. Like, that's actually practical. Going around neighborhoods or whatever, if you just want to go down to the gas station real quick and grab something to eat, you can just cruise in electric. That's very practical, that EV button. That's neat. So drive modes, you get an individual mode, which you can select your different, options that you want. Sport, normal, and economy. I'll just leave it in normal because, let's face it, that's probably what 99% of the customers are going to be in most of the time anyways. Do have nice instant torque off the line due to those electric motors. So what's interesting about this car is this car doesn't have a transmission per se. Ted Word on YouTube, he just did a video on the Civic Hybrid, and he has a very good explanation of how the system all works together, so I'll link his video down in the description and the timestamp. But very cool system. Definitely, probably very, very solid for reliability with a lot less moving parts. And I don't even think you have to change CVT fluid in this either, which is pretty neat. These hybrids are nice because you don't have a serpentine belt, you don't have a starter, like this one doesn't have a actual transmission. So that's already three major parts that tend to fail, and you don't even have them in this car. So you're already, I think, in my opinion, increasing your reliability. Something that's a little different in this car than my wife's CR-V hybrid is it doesn't have a B mode, which is interesting. My wife's car, you can kind of one pedal drive if it's in B mode. This just has PRND. Kind of wish it had B mode because this car definitely has stronger regen than the CR-V hybrid. They forget to mention this car does have Google Maps built in, which is very, very nice to see. Google Maps works really well. This infotainment is just flawless in terms of in terms of performance, and you have Google Assistant as well. Most of the time I'm going to be using Apple CarPlay, but just the fact of having that is extremely nice. Yeah, these seats are about 20 times more comfortable than my Civic Touring. Wow. Now let's put it in EV mode. Oh, reduce acceleration. Sorry. It's yelling at me. That's cool though, you can shift into EV mode at any time on the fly and kind of control that. So we have a full battery here. We'll just cruise to our stopping point in all electric. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed the first impressions review on this 2024 Honda Accord Touring. I almost said Civic. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Like I said, be sure to subscribe as well. Once again, shout out to Jermaine Honda of College Hills for allowing me to film this vehicle today. Really appreciate it. I will have this exact vehicle and the dealership information linked in the description. Yeah, you know, everybody's kind of subjective on the looks of these and, you know, how they looked compared to the previous gen. I think if they had the front of the last gen and the rear of this gen, it would be the perfect mashup. But yeah, I can kind of see how everybody's coming from of, you know, this kind of looks like a Ford Taurus. Kind of like a Mustang and a Taurus had a baby. Anyways, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next video.